dead lost. Not from a brilliant combination. Not from a grandmaster-level trap. From a mistake so simple that the moment you see it, you will wonder how you ever missed it. These are not rare errors. They are the same 7 mistakes showing up in thousands of games every single day, at every rating, at every level. And the worst part is, most players never even know they are making them. The opening has one job. Get your pieces out. Every move you waste on the same piece is a move your opponent uses to build something dangerous. It sounds obvious, but watch what actually happens. You play e4, they play e5. You bring out your knight to f3, attacking the pawn. They defend. You see a square you like, so the knight jumps again to g5. Another and now you have 2 moves invested in one piece. Your other pieces are sitting on their starting squares, and your opponent has quietly developed 3 pieces and castled. The knight that moved twice has accomplished nothing. The game is already drifting away from you. 1 piece. 2 moves. And just like that, the initiative is gone. It feels productive. You are making moves. The position is changing. Pawns are advancing, but pawns cannot fight back, and they cannot protect themselves. And while you are busy pushing them, your opponent is building an army. Here is what it looks like. White plays e4. Black responds with e5. White develops the knight. Black pushes h6. Stopping nothing real. Threatening nothing real, just moving a pawn. White develops the bishop. Black pushes a6. Another pawn. Another wasted move. By move 6, White has 4 pieces developed and a castled king. Black has 2 pawns pushed, and a position that is already on fire. You did not lose material yet, but you lost time. And in chess, time is a piece. 1 question. That is all. Can my opponent take something for free after I play this? Most players skip it entirely. They find a move they like, and the piece is gone before they ever see the threat. In this position, White has a bishop on c4 and a knight on f3. The f7 pawn looks weak. The bishop eyes it. The knight can jump to g5. White plays knight to g5, feeling aggressive, feeling clever. And then Black plays queen to f6. And just like that, the knight is gone. A whole piece lost because White never stopped to ask the question. Not because the attack was bad, because the follow-up was never checked. 1 second. 1 question. That is the entire difference between a good move and a blunder. Trades feel safe. You are not losing material. The board is getting simpler. Everything feels under control. But every trade has a cost, and most players never calculate it. Say you have a knight on a strong central square. Your opponent has a bishop that is blocked behind 3 of their own pawns, doing absolutely nothing. You see the bishop looking at your knight, and you take it. Equal material. Fine trade. Except, you just gave up your best piece for their worst one. You simplified the position for your opponent and gave them an active bishop for free. Pieces are not equal just because they have the same point value, where they stand, what they control, what they are about to do. That is the real calculation. And most players never make it. You did not blunt, but you handed the advantage to your opponent, piece by piece, trade by trade, without ever noticing you are up material. Your pieces are active. The position feels comfortable. And then your opponent plays a move you did not see. And suddenly your king is standing in the middle of the board, with no shelter, and 3 pieces pointing straight at it. It almost always starts the same way. The game has opened up. Pawns have been traded in the center. White has not castled yet, telling themselves they will do it next move. But they find an attack first. One more developing move first. Just one more. And then the opponent plays rook to d1. and the king that never castled is pinned in the center, and the rook has nowhere safe to move. Castling feels passive. It feels like wasted tempo when there are pieces to attack and pawns to grab. But the king that never reaches safety does not last long enough to use any of it. This is the one that decides most games above 1,000 rating. Not a tactical blunder, not a missed piece, just a complete failure to look at the board from the other side. You have a plan. You are executing it. Each move follows naturally from the last. And somewhere in the middle of it, your opponent has built something threatening that you never even noticed because you were too focused on your own ideas. Here is how it ends. White has been building a king-side attack for 10 moves. The rook is on g1. The queen is on h5. One more piece and the checkmate is there. White plays the attack. And then black plays queen to d1. Checkmate. The back rank that white never thought to protect. The queen that white never looked at. The position that was winning became lost in one move, because white never once asked, "What is my opponent trying to do?" Your plan is only half the game. The other half is sitting across the board, invisible, unless you look. This is the cruelest one. The game is in your hands. The opponent is down material. Their position is falling apart. You can feel the win. And that feeling is exactly what makes you lose it. The moves come quickly now. No need to calculate. No need to check. The result is obvious. You are just finishing the game. And then comes the move that loses everything. You have a queen and king against a lone king. The win is completely trivial. You have done this before. The queen chases the enemy king, cutting off squares, pushing it toward the edge. And then one move too fast. One square too close, and the king has no legal moves. Stalemate. Draw. The win you were 10 seconds away from is gone. This. You are up a full rook in a late middle game. Every move has been winning for 20 moves. And you play a natural, automatic developing move without count. And that developing move steps directly in front of your own rook and blocks its escape from a pin. And your rook is simply taken. Not by a trap. Not by a combination, by one careless move in a one position. Winning positions do not win themselves. They demand the same discipline, the same calculation, the same attention as the positions where you are fighting for your life. The moment you stop giving them that, they disappear. 7 mistakes. And the terrifying thing is not how complicated they are, it is how simple they are. A piece moved twice. A question never asked. A castled king skipped for one more attack. A position watched from only one side. None of them require a grandmaster to avoid. They require one thing. Slowing down long enough to see what is actually on the board. The players who stop making these mistakes do not become geniuses. They become dangerous.